All right, you are here as a tenant in a landlord-tenant proceeding.
Mhm.
This is a house which has had some issues over the years. Once again, Dr. Krimis is asking to take possession of the premises back. Attorney Michael Boersma is here on behalf of the plaintiff. Let me explain to you, ladies, what your rights are as tenants in a landlord-tenant proceeding. This is filed as a termination of tenancy. As far as I can tell, there is no lease, but they're asking you to move. All right, as I said, I've had some cases in the past regarding this same property. Each time it was young women that were renting the property. Here we are. You're there. He wants you to leave. Ms. Hirschberger and Ms. Wilson, what's your position?
So we've lived there for over 8 years. I've always made sure that my rent is paid on time. I take care of my yard and I'm a good neighbor. Now they switched things over to be, instead of giving your rent in person, you mail it. So I mail it, it gets lost in the mail. So during that time of trying to find my rent money, because like I said, I've never been late, I've always paid my rent on time. I started getting threatening calls from them. I told them that I was trying to locate the money because, of course, this is my money as well, that I need to figure out where it's at. They started to shut my electric off. They shut my gas off. I told them that I wanted to talk about this in court. They shut my gas off. They shut my electric off. They broke into my house, left all my doors unlocked. They started following me. And then now also, too, there's an issue with the electric. So when I first moved in there over 8 years ago, they didn't tell me that I would be paying for my neighbor's water too. So this
Well,
entire
this is a recurring thing. This house was the residence of the fire department, and two houses are on the same well.
right.
So this is like deja vu all over again.
Yeah.
I've heard this issue before. Mr. Boersma, I'm amazed that we didn't get a lease this time. Did you ever have a lease?
Yes.
So, Your Honor, there is a
yes.
lease. I was not the one who filed the present motion to evict. So my client actually was the one that filed,
Yes.
and I gather from what the court is saying that he failed to or inadvertently failed to include a lease, and then there's a lease amendment as well. From earlier this year.
All right, well, is there a lease in effect right now?
Yes.
They have a lease, but they want me to sign a paper saying that if any of the furnace, the soft heater, thing breaks, that I have to pay it. Otherwise, I get kicked out in 3 days. So there's that they wanted me to sign.
All right, well, there are other issues. There's something called the Landlord-Tenant Relationship Act, and something sometimes referred to as the lockout law. It's unlawful for them to turn off your electricity or your gas.
Yeah, it's all
they could be sanctioned with a financial sanction. Also, if you have a lease that's in effect, you have a right to pay the rent. And they file this as a termination of tenancy. Now, if there is no lease, they don't have to have a reason. They can just say, we'd like you to move.
Right.
If you do have a lease that's in effect, they have to have a reason. Either you haven't paid your rent, in which case you have a chance to pay the rent. Or they have to say the reason why they want you to move. They haven't done that. And the problem is he didn't bring Mr. Boersma into the matter soon enough.
I would, Your Honor, I just need a little bit more time. If I could get 30 days to move. I've got some people helping me because I'm in a wheelchair. And so I've got some people helping me. It's just with being in and out of the hospital. That's why I'm still not out. But I do want to move because I don't feel safe there. Like I said, they are calling between 1 a.m. and 4 a.m. yelling at me to get out.
And they can't do that either. Well, now, at one time, he had a property manager that was very aggressive.
Yeah.
And that is it that person or is it?
August's son, August, and then also, yes, Stan. Stan's following me. I asked August.
Oh, Stan is still involved in this?
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
And so, Your Honor, like I said, like I've always paid my rent on time. I've kept my yard nice. It's just they're trying to get me to pay for my neighbor's water. And then I find out that he's growing pot. And so no wonder my electric bill's been so high. And I didn't get a heads up when I first moved in. They didn't tell me this until 3 months after I moved in. And it's so hard to try to find a new place, which I ended up finding a new place. I just need a little bit more time to get the rest of my things out. But yeah, it's bad.
Frankly, Mr. Boersma, I wish they'd stop renting this house. And his property manager has caused a lot of aggravation to the tenants over the years. And if she's true that someone shut off their electricity and shut off their gas and and went into the house without the permission, there are significant issues regarding that. Tell me about your gas and electricity being shut off.
So I told them that I wanted to go to court because I have no idea, Your Honor, how much my electric is because, like I said, it's running off of my neighbor too. I called the electric company. They said there's no way to tell. And so I told August that I want to settle this in court. I want to talk to, Your Honor, so that way we could get this figured out because me trying to handle it's not working. They just say, pay the water bill. Otherwise you get kicked out. So I found a new place, like I said,
Well, back up. What I asked you is,
oh yeah,
when did they shut off your electricity?
They shut that off a month ago.
What do you mean? It just was turned off?
Called them. They called the company and shut it off. Both of them. They also told me they were going to lock me out before court, that they were going to change the key so I couldn't get in there before court. And then, like I said, Stan's following me.
Is Miss Hirschberger there also? Okay, is that your daughter?
Yes, also my caregiver.
So you indicate that you have found a place to move to?
Yes.
How soon can you be in there?
So I just need 30 days to be able to get the rest of my things out of the old place.
Mr. Boersma, if she's accurate, there are some clear violations of the lockout law for which the plaintiffs could be ordered to pay her money. She's the third tenant or fourth tenant to complain about the property manager following them or making their lives uncomfortable. But she indicates that she would move voluntarily. Perhaps we could resolve this by a consent judgment where you give her until the 15th of December, 16th of December to vacate, and she would agree to move voluntarily. Is that acceptable to you, Ms. Wilson?
Yes. Yes, Your Honor.
Is that acceptable to your client, Mr. Boersma?
Yes, Your Honor.
My client indicates yes, Your Honor.
All right. Now, you're consenting to an agreement whereby you'll move by December 16th. If you don't move, you'd be subject to being evicted. This is going to be entered as what's known as a consent judgment. I don't have one here in front of me, but Mr. Boersma will send me one.
Mhm.
If you misunderstood what we just did or felt like you were pressured into doing this, you have 3 business days to ask to set this aside. But what I'm going to do is enter an order that says you have consented to moving by December 16th. If you don't move by December 16th, you're subject to being evicted. When you move, you need to turn in your keys and give your forwarding address within 4 days of your moving. Mr. Boersma, this is going to be a continuing issue regarding this well.
Mm-hmm.
And Dr. Krimis, in the future, before you do anything, your son does anything, or Stan does anything, talk to Mr. Boersma first. You could have yourself in some significant difficulties by turning off your tenants' electricity or gas, or calling them in the middle of the night. So you're to stop, not to have any contact with them pending this move out. Or you could end up paying her a substantial amount of money. So she's going to agree to move voluntarily. When you file a complaint, you're supposed to file a copy of the lease. I don't think you even have the right to the relief you're asking for. I think she has the right to pay her rent, but she wants to get out of this situation, and I don't blame her. So she's going to move by December 16th. She'll turn in the keys and give the forwarding address. Mr. Boersma, I think you've got our email address.
I believe I do, where I can call the clerk's office and get
All right.
that. So
Very good. Well, if you'd email me a judgment, I'll sign it. All right. Ms. Wilson, best of luck.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And I will send you a copy of that judgment when I get it and sign it.
All right, I appreciate it.
All right, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
thank you, Your Honor.
In this landlord-tenant hearing, Judge Middleton addressed a long-running problematic property where the landlord, Dr. Kemmis, once again sought possession from tenant Ms. Wilson, who has lived there for over 8 years with consistent on-time rent, well-kept grounds, and no behavioral issues. Ms. Wilson explained that after rent payments were switched to mail, one of her mailed payments was lost, leading to aggressive threats from the landlord's side, including late-night harassing calls, attempts to lock her out, and even unlawful shutoffs of her electricity and GASOL violations of the Michigan lockout law. She described further issues: being forced to pay for her neighbor's water due to a shared well, unexplained high electricity bills possibly tied to the neighbor growing marijuana, and the landlord's property manager Stan allegedly following and intimidating her. The judge noted that similar complaints have occurred with this same property for years and expressed concern that the landlord failed to file the required lease with the eviction claim, which legally weakens their case. Despite these issues, Ms. Wilson stated she already secured a new place and only needed 30 more days to move due to mobility limitations and recent hospitalizations. Recognizing her desire to leave voluntarily, the judge proposed a consent judgment, allowing her to remain until December 16th, after which she must turn in the keys and provide a forwarding address. The landlord's attorney agreed, and the judge cautioned the landlord and his associates that any further harassment, lockouts, utilities, shutoffs, or unauthorized entry could expose them to significant financial penalties. The judge ordered all contact with the tenants to stop immediately and instructed the attorney to prepare the written judgment. Ms. Wilson thanked the court, and the matter concluded with protections in place until her scheduled move-out date. For more information, like and subscribe my channel.